There are two things in life that I enjoy the most: anime gaming and music. And Rhythm Doctor is all about that. You are an intern who has just started his first day of working remotely in a hospital that is experimenting with a new type of treatment, a special defibrillation method. By defibrillating the hearts of patients in sync with their heartbeats, this treatment can supposedly cure all manners of the heart. And so, you set out with your two seemingly plain colleagues on the job to heal the hearts of any patients who get admitted into your hospital. As with any rhythm game, a good tracklist greatly affects the replayability of the game. Nobody wants to try beating their rhythm to a shitty, drab, and uninspired track over and over again. In Rhythm Doctor, you pretty much don't have to worry about that, as the majority of his tracks are absolute bangers. While music in general is pretty subjective from person to person, I believe there's a little something in here for everyone in terms of taste. I won't go into specific detail the type of genre the game goes for, as I get the feeling that tracks are mostly chosen based on the story scenario that it is currently in, which honestly is a great direction the developers have decided to head into, because this means that we'll be getting a nice variety of tracks to listen to. Along with good music is thoughtful sound design. You know that moment when you start a track, your fingers are itching to get going. The song loads, the notes start flying, your brain goes into overdrive and so do your fingers. You hit the first note and you hear... This, as what most rhythm players would call it, are hit sounds, and it's actually one of my greatest gripes with some rhythm games. This second layer of sound that plays over the track when you hit a note, in some cases, is so jarring and out of place that it makes the part of my brain that appreciates music scream bloody murder. Now, Rhythm Doctor isn't exactly free of this problem either. But remember when I mentioned thoughtful sound design? Rhythm Doctor changes up the clap on occasion depending on the track. In the case of this game, I would even argue that the sound clips leading up to the clap is just as important. These ones in particular are done well, as they actually feel like they will belong in the track. Just have a listen to this and you get a good idea of what I mean. It sounds great, and this variation is what makes a hit sound problem bearable. I think that's also why rhythm games like Friday Night Funkin' work so well. Your hit sounds are literally the voices of the characters that vary in tone. The whole game centers around the press of one button, the spacebar. That's it. Seriously, that's it. No WASD, DFJK, no fancy finger tapping or pens on steroids. The only thing you'll be required to do is press spacebar on the 7th beat. The game also introduces a new rhythm mechanic in almost every new level, so you're guaranteed to always be beating your rhythm to a new one, spicing up the gameplay every so often. That is actually incredible. The controls are responsive, as it should be, and while the game is quite strict in what it registers as a correct rhythm input for your button press, it still does give a little bit of leeway for hits that are slightly offbeat. The game even has a whole calibration system in place that does its job well, so you essentially have no excuses for being complete shite at the track later. But still, how can such a simple control scheme make for any compelling gameplay, you ask? Well, my friend, this simplicity is precisely the thing that calls for your attention to be paid elsewhere. The visuals. The first thing you've probably already noticed is the game's sprite art. It's nothing spectacular, but it's done well, with its character designs simple but detailed enough to make out their features and are easily distinguishable between one another. The animation isn't too complex, and it's pretty much just a few frames, but serves its job and never feels like it drags the game down. Sprites will also head bob to the beat of the track you're playing. It's not exactly new, but it's still always a nice touch. While the visual art style of its characters are decent as it is, I think what they did an even greater job is its environment and its stage art. There's always a very clear ambience that either adds or simply sets the mood of the track you're currently playing. To couple with that, the game sure knows how to use its colors, and even lighting, believe it or not, for different scenarios. Playing a heavy dubstep track? Here's some vibrant neon colors to stimulate those retinas in your eyes that's been exposed to too much hand. Chilling to some slow beats? Get treated to some warm colors in a nicely lit, comfy lounge or cafe and set your mind at a relaxing pace. At this point, you're probably wondering how any of this justifies the gameplay being so simplistic, with me claiming that it demands your attention to be placed on its visuals. Well, the answer is to witness it for yourself. The game's very first boss stage. Most rhythm games are essentially skill-based, testing one's speed, muscle memory, and accuracy on charts with overwhelming waves of button inputs. In Rhythm Doctor, however, you don't stare at the beats leading up to the point of input. You don't look ahead to preempt the next beat. The game doesn't let you, it doesn't want you to. There are no scores, no combos, no accuracy meter, just a single grade at the end of the track. The boss stages don't even have grades. Rhythm Doctor is still challenging, but it doesn't want your mad fingering skills. It demands the best of your sense of internal rhythm. This isn't a skill-based game, it's an experience, and it achieves that spectacularly. Rhythm Doctor was apparently inspired by another fantastic rhythm game, Rhythm Heaven, and it shows. Both games put focus on incorporating contextual visual expression into its rhythm-centric gameplay, something which, in my opinion, we do not see enough of. If you think that boss stage was cool, well, I have news for you, cause it gets even better. But I won't show it, cause I want you to experience it for yourself, just like how I did for my first playthrough. It isn't all just about its gameplay too. Its premise, believe it or not, actually lends itself really well to the overall setting and motivation behind playing the game. Being a hospital, you're gonna be meeting patients with all kinds of mannerisms, each with their own unique little backstory and problems they're facing. Sometimes, it's even relatable. Each level provides a little more insight into its characters, and while it's nothing mind-blowing, you do eventually start to care about these little sprite characters, who are just trying to get by in life as best they can, just like the rest of us. Seriously, the only drawback about this game is that it's in early access, which can be a deal breaker for a lot of people. And I get that, because there's a lot of risk involved. Plus, the $15 price tag is pretty steep for its current amount of content, even for a good game such as this. Rhythm Doctor currently has 4 acts during the making of this video, with most stages having its own night version, so that's extra levels in terms of content. The game has actually been in development for quite some time now, several years in fact, so if you feel that the current amount of content doesn't add up for that kind of development time and price tag, I can't say I disagree with you. Take what you will with that information. As for me, I know I bought it. I guess only time will tell if they're gonna complete the game, or they don't, and this entire video will be a thing of the past. Oh god, I pray they do. This is one of those games that I really hope gets completed well, so Godspeed to the developers. To wrap things up, if you love rhythm games of any sort, buy it. I highly recommend it, even if it's early access. If you live by and die by the strict moral code that all early access titles shouldn't be allowed to exist, buy it, even if it's early access. You never had any morals anyway. I've seen your internet history, the places you've been, with a VPN. If you have no money and can't afford it, poor. Steal your mom's credit card or something, I don't know. In any case, keep tabs on it at least. I know I will, and will probably revisit this gem of a game once it gets completed. Now excuse me while I proceed to S+ every single stage in the game. Just kidding, because by the time this video is out, I'm already working on the next review. So expect more content coming your way, and subscribe so you don't miss a single one of my garbage reviews on games you absolutely don't care about. Stay tuned, stay safe, and keep playing games everyone. See you all in the next video.
S+. Good job.